The centurion, a commanding officer in the Roman army, stood at the foot of the cross bearing witness to the agonizing final moments of Jesus. As the world around them changed dramatically, with the earth shaking and darkness enveloping the land, this man of power and authority experienced a profound revelation. Recognizing the extraordinary nature of the one before him, the centurion, a figure deeply embedded in the military and social structures of ancient Rome, grasped something beyond his usual realm of understanding. Far from being a passive observer, the centurion played a pivotal role in the events that unfolded. His actions and words revealed a strict yet just character typical of a Roman officer, but they also showed his ability to perceive the divine in the person of Jesus Christ. Charged with overseeing one of history's most significant events, he transcended his role as a mere executor, becoming an integral part of the narrative of Christ's crucifixion. In this singular moment, the centurion did more than just witness. He recognized the uniqueness of the man hanging on the cross. This acknowledgement offered profound insight into the intersection of power, authority, and divine manifestation in the course of history. The Gospels recount the striking events at the moment of Jesus' death. The sky darkened, and an earthquake shook the land. Amid these phenomena, the centurion made a remarkable declaration. Truly, this was the Son of God. This statement, especially coming from a Roman officer, underscores the universality of Jesus' impact. The routine role of a centurion in a crucifixion transformed into a moment of spiritual awakening, reflecting a recurring theme in biblical narratives: God's presence in unexpected places and people. Representing Roman authority and pagan beliefs, the centurion's acknowledgement of Jesus' divinity highlights how deeply Jesus' life and death resonated, even with those who might have been indifferent to his teachings. The centurion's realization serves as a powerful testimony to the transformative power of Jesus' message and the universal appeal of his teachings. Golgotha, known as the place of the skull, was the brutal execution site outside Jerusalem's walls. Here, the Romans carried out their most severe punishments, including the crucifixion of Jesus. The atmosphere at Golgotha was dense with darkness and chaos. Emotions ran high: the sorrow of Jesus' followers, the indifference of the Roman soldiers, and the tension among the onlookers. Luke 23:27 mentions a large crowd, particularly women, lamenting Jesus' fate. A great multitude of the people followed him, and women who also mourned and lamented him. It was common for a large crowd to accompany a condemned prisoner, turning the execution into a public spectacle. Led by a Roman guard who carried a placard with the condemned man's name and crime, the procession was designed to instill fear and demonstrate Roman authority. The centurion, tasked with ensuring the execution was widely witnessed, took a deliberate route to maximize the spectacle. This experience shaped his perspective on Jesus, leading to his surprising response: "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children." This plea, especially amid Jesus' brutal treatment, underscores the depth of his message. His final words to the women gain special significance as his last connected speech before his death. As Jesus hung on the cross between two criminals, the crowd's emotions were a mix of mockery, sorrow, and confusion. Some hurled insults, challenging him to save himself if he truly was the Son of God. This mockery highlighted the misunderstanding of Jesus' mission. He remained on the cross, not out of weakness, but out of love and commitment to his divine purpose. Amid the mockery and suffering, the centurion's declaration, "This was the Son of God," stood in stark contrast. Though some mocked and others wept, the centurion's words revealed a profound truth. Jesus' identity as the Son of God remained, even in death. Some accounts suggest that the soldiers who crucified Jesus were deeply affected by the events they witnessed, as Christ prayed for their forgiveness. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." Luke 23:34. The centurion's statement gains further significance in this context, especially coming from a figure representing Roman paganism. His recognition of Jesus' divinity underscores the universal impact of the crucifixion, touching even those far from faith in Christ. The centurion's realization was extraordinary, reflecting a deep understanding of Jesus' divine nature, something even some of Jesus' followers struggled to grasp. This understanding emerged after witnessing the supernatural events surrounding Jesus' death, such as the earthquake and the tearing of the temple curtain. These events were so powerful that they led the centurion, a hardened soldier, to a moment of awe and belief. His declaration, coming from a non-Jewish Roman officer, highlights the universal nature of Jesus' message and mission, extending beyond the Jewish people to all of humanity. This incident also fulfills biblical prophecies about the Messiah's recognition by all nations. The centurion's words are not just significant because of his authority, but because of the spiritual insight they reveal. In the chaotic scene at Golgotha, it became clear how deeply Jesus' death affected a wide range of people, from his closest followers to a Roman soldier. This testimony to Jesus' identity as the Son of God shows that even those outside his immediate circle could recognize the truth about who he was, especially in the face of miraculous signs. The crucifixion, a moment of profound sorrow, became a turning point in religious history and in the lives of individuals like the centurion. The extraordinary events surrounding Jesus' death emphasized its spiritual significance, marking it as a pivotal moment. One of the most notable occurrences was a period of darkness that enveloped the land, as described in Luke 23:44. This darkness, lasting for several hours, served as a dramatic backdrop to the crucifixion, symbolizing the gravity of the moment. Another significant event was an earthquake that tore the temple curtain from top to bottom and split rocks, Matthew 27:51. This earthquake was a powerful manifestation of the chaos and significance of Jesus' death, signaling that something extraordinary had occurred. The tearing of the temple curtain was one of the most symbolic events of this moment. The curtain separated the Holy of Holies, the most sacred part of the temple where God's presence was believed to dwell, from the rest of the temple. Its tearing signified the end of the Old Covenant and the establishment of a new way to approach God. Through Jesus' death, the barrier between God and humanity was removed, allowing all people direct access to God. These phenomena, the darkness, the earthquake, and the tearing of the temple curtain, were deeply symbolic, marking Jesus' death as a singular event in history. They represented not only a change in physical circumstances, but also a spiritual transformation, ushering in a new era in the relationship between God and humanity. Early Christians interpreted these events as divine signs affirming the significance of Jesus' mission, his sacrifice, and the transformative nature of his death. The centurion, contemplating the 7 last words of Jesus, may have had a profound encounter with this divine manifestation. Here are Jesus' 7 last sayings from the cross. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Luke 23:34. "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Luke 23:43. "Woman, here is your son," and to the disciple, "Here is your mother." John 19:26-27. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27:46. "I am thirsty." John 19:28. "It is finished." John 19:30. "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Luke 23:46. These sayings reflect Jesus' profound humanity and divinity, showcasing his concern for others, fulfillment of Scripture, and ultimate surrender to God's will. Witnessing these final moments, the centurion would have seen a man who, despite immense suffering, remained committed to his mission, cared for others, and ultimately trusted in God. This experience likely deepened the centurion's understanding, leading to his declaration that Jesus was indeed the Son of God. The centurion's realization underscores the universality of Jesus' message and its power to transcend cultural and belief boundaries. On that dark afternoon at Golgotha, a Roman soldier stood guard, witnessing the final moments of Jesus on the cross. The scene was enveloped in gloom and chaos, with the earth trembling from a violent earthquake. Amid this turmoil, the soldier heard Jesus' final words, filled with forgiveness and love. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." This harrowing event prompted the once strict and emotionless soldier to reflect deeply. Standing before the supernatural signs, the darkness, the earthquake, the tearing of the temple curtain, he realized something extraordinary about the man being crucified. With reverence, he exclaimed, "Surely this man was the Son of God." The words of this Roman soldier, a representative of the might and brutality of the Roman Empire, were more than an acknowledgement of Jesus' death. They were a recognition of his divine mission. This declaration was a testament to the profound change Jesus brought, transcending all cultural and belief boundaries. Lesson derived from the centurion's recognition of Jesus. The story of the Roman centurion's recognition of Jesus as the Son of God at the crucifixion provides profound insights into faith, revelation, and the transformative power of divine encounters. This moment is more than just an isolated event in the narrative of the crucifixion. It serves as a powerful lesson about the nature of true recognition, the breaking down of cultural and spiritual barriers, and the universal call to faith. The lesson: the universality of divine revelation. One of the most significant lessons we can draw from the centurion's experience is the universality of divine revelation and the idea that God's truth is accessible to all people, regardless of their background, beliefs, or social status. The centurion, a Roman officer and a representative of an oppressive empire, was not a follower of Jesus, nor was he part of the Jewish faith. Yet, at the moment of Jesus' death, he experienced a revelation so profound that it led him to declare, "Truly this was the Son of God." Matthew 27:54. This moment teaches us that divine truth is not confined to a particular group or belief system, but is available to anyone open to recognizing it. The centurion's declaration is extraordinary considering his background. As a Roman soldier, he would have been steeped in the religious and cultural traditions of the Roman Empire, which were polytheistic and involved the worship of multiple gods and the deification of the emperor. The centurion's role in the crucifixion was likely routine, a part of his duty as a soldier to maintain order and carry out the sentences handed down by the Roman authorities. He would have been accustomed to scenes of execution and violence, and his heart might have been hardened by years of military service and exposure to the brutality of Roman justice. However, in witnessing the events surrounding Jesus' crucifixion, the darkness that fell over the land, the earthquake, and the manner in which Jesus died, something changed within him. The centurion's recognition of Jesus' divine nature is a testament to the power of God to reveal himself, even to those who seem most unlikely to receive such a revelation. It underscores the idea that God's truth is universal and can break through any cultural, social, or spiritual barrier. The breaking down of barriers. The centurion's recognition of Jesus as the Son of God also highlights the breaking down of barriers between different groups of people. The Roman Empire was a powerful force in the world at the time, often seen as an oppressive regime by those living under its rule. The Jewish people, in particular, had a complex and often adversarial relationship with the Roman authorities. The centurion, as a representative of this empire, would have been viewed with suspicion and animosity by many of Jesus' followers. Yet, in this moment of revelation, the centurion transcends his role as a Roman officer and becomes a symbol of the breaking down of barriers between Jews and Gentiles, between oppressors and the oppressed, and between different cultural and religious groups. His declaration of Jesus' divinity shows that the message of Christ is not limited to one group of people, but is intended for all of humanity. This lesson is particularly relevant in today's world, where divisions between different groups, whether based on race, religion, nationality, or social status, can seem insurmountable. The story of the centurion reminds us that God's truth has the power to break down these barriers and bring people together in recognition of a shared spiritual reality. It challenges us to look beyond our differences and to see the common humanity that binds us all together. the call to personal revelation and faith. Another important lesson from this story is the idea that true faith often comes through personal revelation. The centurion's recognition of Jesus was not something he learned from others or was taught as part of his upbringing. It was a direct and personal revelation that came through his own experience of witnessing the events of the crucifixion. This moment of revelation led to a profound change in his understanding of who Jesus was. This teaches us that faith is not just about following religious traditions or accepting what we have been taught by others. It is about having a personal encounter with the divine that transforms our understanding and our lives. The centurion's experience shows us that such a revelation can come at any moment, even in the most unlikely of circumstances. It encourages us to be open to the possibility of encountering God in unexpected ways and to be willing to let those encounters transform us. The personal nature of the centurion's revelation also highlights the importance of individual responsibility in responding to divine truth. While others around him may have witnessed the same events, it was the centurion who recognized their significance and responded with a declaration of faith. This reminds us that while God's truth is universal, each person must choose how to respond to that truth. The centurion's example challenges us to be open to God's revelations in our own lives and to respond with faith and recognition of His presence. The power of witnessing. Finally, the story of the centurion emphasizes the power of witnessing in the journey of faith. The centurion's declaration did not come in isolation. It was the result of witnessing the extraordinary events that accompanied Jesus' death. The darkness, the earthquake, and the manner in which Jesus conducted himself even in his final moments all contributed to the centurion's realization of Jesus' divine nature. This teaches us that our own witness, both what we see and how we live, can have a profound impact on others. The events that the centurion witnessed were a testimony to the divine nature of Jesus, and they led him to a moment of faith. Similarly, the way we live our lives, the things we say and do, and how we respond to the challenges and trials we face can serve as a witness to others of the truth of God's presence in the world. The centurion's story encourages us to be mindful of the impact our witness can have on others. It reminds us that our actions and the way we respond to the events of life can be a powerful testimony to those around us, potentially leading them to their own moments of recognition and faith. Conclusion. The story of the centurion at the crucifixion offers rich lessons about the universality of divine revelation, the breaking down of barriers, the importance of personal revelation and faith, and the power of witnessing. It challenges us to be open to God's truth in our own lives, to see beyond the divisions that separate us, and to live in a way that bears witness to the transformative power of divine encounters. The centurion's recognition of Jesus as the Son of God is a powerful reminder that faith can emerge in the most unexpected places and that God's truth is accessible to all who are willing to see it.